Hello, dear all. We are here to introduce to you all of the updates we have done in the first quarter of 2022. It actually was a quite productive first quarter, where we are really happy to bring to you a couple of really new features, lots of the stuff which was requested by the users in the last couple of months. Yeah, I'm really happy to show you what we've done. Hello, Gert. Great to have you here.
Hello, thank you.
So let's start. Let's go through all of the enhancements we can present today.
Yeah, I think we should start with Figma. We have a huge enhancement regarding the link panel in Figma. This is, I would say none of the available Figma plugins can match this feature. It's working perfectly when it comes to the source, the location, the version, resolution, and all the other stuff regarding the placed assets. You can now make sure that you always use the latest version by running the version check in your integration. And another feature is that we can now drag and drop text into an existing frame, and the text is pasted where the cursor is placed. Then that's really cool feature.
Yeah, that's something what we've heard a lot from Figma users is that they would love to see the functionalities which we have in all our Adobe or Google plugins, the link panel. And so the team worked hard to make that also available for Figma. I think it's really cool. Next thing is Marvia. It's very nice to have Marvia also on board. The plugin is now released, and we have delivered a couple of enhancements, deep link, and some additional features. So if you're a Marvia user, you will really appreciate these new functions. This is something what was really heavily requested, and I think, Gert, this is a pretty cool feature for all the box users, right?
Exactly. This is a really huge enhancement. So you can see first all available conversions now that Box is providing currently, and you can display all metadata, including the custom metadata templates, which you can see here on the right-hand side. So all custom-based metadata fields will be displayed, and they are totally dynamic. So if some fields don't have any content, they don't show up, and you can use the custom metadata if they are drop downs or something like that, which has a really unique value. You can use them as filters.
Very cool. Looks like that Box is moving a little bit more in direction of a DAM system, huh?
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next.
Yep. So this is, again, the metadata templates, but we can now have the order of the metadata fields. So if you change the order in Box, it will automatically change the order in the panel. And we can use the CSV export, so it works with the InDesign Data Merge application quite well.
Very cool. Okay.
So the context menu now respects the last selected rendition. So that means when you're using place and link or replace or the replace all feature, it'll take the rendition which is currently selected. If there is no rendition available, we will automatically use the original file for placement.
Okay. I think that helps a lot of users which have requested that if I select a rendition once, then whenever I use another image in placing, then I would like to use the same rendition without the need of clicking separately. So I think that makes work quite a lot easier. Very cool. Okay. Yeah, the next one is Keypick. Keepic is now released into the wild, and we also added already some enhancement, like the date filter. The Keepic system has a very nice functionality to select assets by date, and that's also now within the integration here. So it's very cool for all the Keepic users. We all welcome you to the CI Hub connector. Great. Next. Heavily requested feature.
Yeah. So if you create an InDesign package with the panel, you can have a checkbox, which means you can add a PNG of the first page of the document, which is included in the package. And yeah, that makes it much easier to identify if you're checking the right package currently in your system.
Yeah, this is heavily requested by users that are working with a lot of partners together and sending around package files. Now you can easily identify what kind of package is it. It's really, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah, cool.
Next, again, we have Figma enhancements. So you can now add images as a fill, not only place an image, so you can add assets as a fill. You can use SVG files. We have beautiful previews of SVG files. Placing text in the canvas creates a standard frame size. So it's reduced to 400 pixel width. So it doesn't go over the whole board if you're using metadata fields. And you can now also fill text with images with a fill feature and create punch outs and all this stuff. So
okay.
Quite cool.
This is a nice feature and makes it really easy to use images as background for text. This is really nice. Great. Okay. But we have more with Figma, right?
Figma, yeah, was some things were heavily requested. So we can now support the color styles in Figma, which means that you can place images into a color style. So that means everything that was built with this style will be automatically replaced. So you don't change the frame in this case, you just change the style. And this, as I said, affects all elements that are built with this style. And the panel supports also the color style name, which means if you go to the check panel and you want to see where these assets were placed, you see on the left-hand side that this asset was placed in the color style named light gray. So we're always taking the name of the color style and put them into the location. Yeah, really cool if you're working with icons in your web design and you have to change icons. So build them with styles and you can easily change them over the whole document.
We got a lot of requests here from Figma users that the Figma artboards get more and more complicated. And we've seen huge Figma files. And this really, the ability to see where the asset is, what's the location, and what kind of a color style is associated with it, makes it a lot easier to find all of your assets, especially in large in large workspaces. So yeah, nice feature. Cool. Okay.
I think this is the last enhancement within Figma, working with components. So the replace all feature doesn't affect the structure of components and instances. So if you run a replace all, it doesn't disconnect the instance from the component. So it only works within the component. And yeah, and the other way around, if you working with instances that have been manipulated, it works in the manipulated instance.
Okay.
So really cool.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Something for Sketch.
Exactly. So we have also implemented the link panel into Sketch, which is also working really a USP. None of the other plugins can do that in the Sketch environment. So it's the same source location, version, resolution, availability, completeness, and it reduces, of course, the file size because you can replace them with low-res images instead of using all the high-res stuff. And you can also check the versions and use versions and relink versions. Really cool feature. Even if there are assets only placed with copy and paste, as you can see, they have no icon in front of the file name. You can add them with the little plus icon into your DAM system or cloud storage system, whatever.
Very cool. So now we have the same functionality with the link panel in, I think, almost all of the programs. This is really, really cool, except Microsoft, but working on that. Oh, more Sketch.
And yeah, which was really often requested is to open and store Sketch documents via the panel into the source system. So yeah.
Okay, nice.
And at least we can support TIFF files right now, so you can place TIFF files into Sketch.
Okay, nice. Yeah, we done a huge update to the Sharedien system, and I think you will love this one. Sharedien is the first system that has the implementation of our task management. As you know, our goal is to deliver everything what you need to do your job as easy as you can. And one of the things what we think is very important is that you have access to all of your tasks. So if you're connected to a task management system, then why shouldn't you see the task within InDesign which you need to do? Imagine you have to change an image. Someone has created a task. Please change the color of that image to a little bit lighter. Then you would immediately see that task within Photoshop. You can just select the asset, you can do your job, upload it again into, in that case, the Sharedien system, set the status to closed, and someone else can now pick it up. It's really easy. You never will have to leave your application to know what the task or the task content is. And we will enhance that a lot over the next couple of months, because we do believe it's a very clever thing to not just deliver you the asset, but also to deliver you all of the informations around the job. So really happy that Sharedien is the first one to fully implement that. Right, Gert?
Not to forget, you can add comments within the panel. So if you can type your text into the comments field, and it'll be moved to the Sharedien system. Yeah.
And you can easily share that with your colleagues and maybe do clarifications or, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Really cool.
Okay.
Okay.
One of the next one is we have integrated the Mars system. That's now also live, so all of the Mars customers are welcome to the CIAP connector. And we do hope that we see a good adoption here and you're happy with accessing your Mars assets within all of the applications. Nice to have you here. Thanks. This is something, it doesn't look so exciting, but it is, right, Gert?
Yeah, I think it works quite well. So if you are working with assets and you have, let's say, a modify date and a create date, now we can do a compare with these. So that means if your local file has a modify date which is newer than the created date, you'll get a warning. Otherwise, that window doesn't appear. But it helps you a lot if you have maybe changed something in your local file and you forgot to
upload it into the
upload
system.
it into the system, and
Yeah,
yeah, so
really,
that's really cool. Yeah.
Cool. Good. Okay, that was also heavily requested from users that this would help a lot. After Effects.
Yeah. After Effects, yeah, this is really huge time saver because you can now use all your in Illustrator created artboards to work within Adobe After Effects. So you can select artboards and use them as composition or as footage. So you can prepare your animation in After Effects directly in Illustrator. You can link single layers to the After Effects application. You get notifications when an AI layer was updated, has been updated. And you can use them as placeholders and masks, everything created in Illustrator. And you can use and link any number of layers. So it works with 20, 30, 40 layers perfectly. This is really a huge time saver. So you can see on the right-hand side, you see only the single Illustrator file. On the left-hand side, you see all the layers that are included in this Illustrator file. Yeah, and that makes it really easy to animate each single layer in your time frames. Yeah, that's really a huge time saver.
Pretty cool. Love it.
Dropbox.
We were waiting for almost 2 years on that feature in the Dropbox. Now here it is.
Yeah. So in Dropbox, you can add custom tags in Dropbox. And this is now fully dynamic working in the CI Hub connector. So you can see that the custom tags have a hashtag as a prefix, yeah, in front of the name, and you can use them as filter in the CI Hub. So you can filter all the custom tags in your search.
Nice.
Really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is something for you, Andy.
Yes. So as you know, we have a compatibility mode, and we now implemented that compatibility mode for Widen. After the acquisition from Acquia of Widen, there was a need to deliver a compatibility mode from the Acquia system to Widen. The Acquia system is built on a WebDAM system, so now everyone who has an old Acquia system and wants to migrate to Widen can just migrate there, or can just open their InDesign files, and they will be automatically relink the assets in the Widen system. We do think this is a nice feature for customers migrating from one system to the other system. There's nothing to do; just open your InDesign and it's done. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, I think this is one of the. Now, it's not really the most requested, but in the last year, I think there were so many users. They said, "We really like the CI panel, but the text is so small." And now, with the enhancement of the Adobe InDesign product suite, there is the ability that independently of the sizing from InDesign, you can now go into settings, and you have a UI scaling functionality in there. So you can now scale up and down the size of the font in the connector to whatever is comfortable for yourself in respect to your settings in your monitor or in your display. So really easy. Go to settings, scale up, and be more comfortable with the connector. I think that's really good. And with implementing a settings functionality and the ability to have user-specific settings, we will in the future enhance a couple of more things where you can do some customizings. I think this is something what will make using the CIAP connector a lot easier. Okay.
I think especially when you're using the high-res monitors,
yeah,
it would make sense to scale the UI. Yeah,
absolutely, it's pretty cool. I actually have it on 110, yeah, and I think it's a lot more comfortable.
Okay. I'm a few years older, so I've set it to 117.
Yeah, that's not bad. I have glasses, so you know they are already compensating most of that stuff.
Okay, compensating a few years. All right.
Yeah, good.
So, that's it.
That's almost it. That was an overview of what we've done in the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks. The actual version number is the version 62 at the time of the recording. We would be extremely happy if you like what we've done there. Leave a comment on one of the review platforms on Adobe Exchange or somewhere else. That would be really help us. And if you have ideas, if there are things you're missing, if there's whatever you want to tell us, send an email to support@CIHub and we will take care on that one. Gert, thanks a lot for the last 20 minutes.
Having me?
That was quite cool. And thanks a lot. Enjoy the day, and we hope we did a good job for all of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Stay connected.
Bye, Gert.
Bye-bye.